I liken the Roux brothers to they're the Beatles of gastronomy for the UK.
I was the very first winner of the Roux Scholarship 30 years ago, so I remember actually being here in 1984 at the time where Michel just was awarded his third star. But at that time, even then, he'd thrown everything into the scholarship. So for me, it was a life-changing moment, and ever since then, Michel and I have been very, very close. He's kept a close eye on my career. He's given me some great advice over the years. So I can definitely say that he's had a momentous impact on my career and where I am now.
When I arrived in London, I could go out and eat, and I could not eat very well anywhere. The only place I could eat well was in Gavroche at that time, and they had already 2 or 3 places, which was the Poulbeau and the Gamin, which was at that time, and there was the only few places you could eat well in London. So they revolutionized the food in England, very much so. I mean, that's they were the beginners of the food, the French food in England. There was food before, there was food after, but there is only one way to cook, which is the Roux way to cook.
On a personal level, I mean, it's been a fabulous opportunity for me. I mean, I came here in 1983 as a young guy, unaware of what the future would hold. I grew through the ranks to become head chef, which was something I never dreamt of. I held that position for 13 years, and fantastic for me. It's helped me throughout my career since then. A great tug of the heartstrings to leave, but time came, and it's just a fabulous place, and I've got so much respect for Michel and Albert Roux, and we wouldn't be here without them. Thank you.
I started in this job about 30 years ago, and the first word I knew was Roux. They dominated the culinary world. They did so much at a time when cooking in this country was wanting a little bit. They did so much to bring it up to the standard, or at least move it in the right direction of the standard of where we wanted to be today. And so they've done so much for our industry.
Well, it was a bit difficult at first, because when I moved in, that was after Pierre Kaufmann, and Pierre Kaufmann, God, he's a chef, and Pierre got the first star. We did get the second star when I was here, and the third star came out in 1985. Soon after I left, really, but that was a very great venture, because it's a teamwork altogether, and when we remember all the hours we've put in, I mean, really, we never had better teachers than Albert and Michel.
Well, my relationship with the Roux brothers started back in 1990, and I was a young 19-year-old chef. And I went to work for Albert, Michel's brother, and I spent a year there, and it was probably one of the most memorable experiences of my life, because you stepped inside someone's family business restaurant. Very special, but you didn't really realise it at the time that you'd stepped into something that was about to become a big part of the history of food in this country. And now that we look back, in 2010, that we're looking back at a legacy of 2 brothers who put food on the map in this country, and it's an honour to be part of it. It's an honour to have spent my time with them. Still to be invited to come many years down the line is great.
Forget what I think about Michel's cooking. He's not a bad chef, actually. No, he's just a wonderful man. And I think that when I first moved to Bray, I was naive, self-taught. My first paid job as a chef was opening the Fat Duck in August 1995. And obviously the Waterside was a temple of gastronomy and had been for several years. And the support I got from Michel when I first arrived to Bray was fantastic. It could have been a lot more uncomfortable, but he was just. And the other thing with Michel is that he's always behaved himself in the most. I mean, it's kind of this sort of almost statesman-like way. He's never got involved in silly arguments. He's just. I'd say as a role model, you can't get much better than him.
The first time I met Michel Roux would have been through the scholarship. Up until that point, I'll be honest with you, I didn't have a massive knowledge of the Roux and what they'd done in this country. And then as I entered and did some research, I realised the impact that they've had on British cuisine, and it was staggering to think that I didn't know about it before. I guess because I'd not come from a trained background, I worked in, should we say, lower class establishment compared to this, but it was something that hadn't been on my horizon, so meeting them was quite scary. But then actually you realise there's no reason to be scared. He's actually one of the friendliest people you could want to meet, and very, very supportive as well.
Well, obviously, in 25 years, you can imagine the world has changed many times in 25 years. The guests have changed, cooking habits have changed, the chefs here have changed. I've seen 3 different head chefs here at the Waterside. But what kept me here for all those years, first of all, because I love my job, I love the Waterside, and I love the way the Roux do things. So I always said, why would I move somewhere else? And I become a bit like them, because my wife tell me, Diego, you're like Mr. Roux, you're becoming like him. So I think maybe without knowing, I become like them. So I'm a bit of a son of Mr. Roux instead of my dad. That's true.
Good. So good evening. Thank you for all of you to, leave your restaurant tonight for one evening. You'll be forgotten. God is with us on that instant. Now, what I like to say is that we've got the 1 star, the 2 star, and the 3 star. The unusual part, because I've been invited on occasions such as 25th anniversary 3 star in France, 30 years anniversary in France, on a couple of occasions. But the invité, the restaurant, were all 3 star. A lot of snobbish. And to be honest, I've been in UK for 42 years, and I want to share my success, my life, and my son and family life with you guys. The chef who work in UK, the young generation, the 1-star Michelin will become 2 one day and maybe 3. Why not? Everything is possible. So thank you for being with us. Now, the team. The team tonight, I'm very happy to say, because you do nothing without the team. And you all know that in your restaurant. All those guys have done wonder. But I like to say, without my son over the last 8 years, I don't think we'll still be there. So here you are. My son is now in charge of the deli, the à la carte, the team. The other thing I want to talk about is the team, the front of the house. Now, the team starts with Diego, who's been with me for over 24 years, and without him, I will not be there. So thank you, Diego, as well. What it does matter is not which kind of cooking you cook, but good cooking for everyone. And always remember, only cook what you like to eat. I'd like to say a big thanks to few people. Few people, they are all my team, but a big thanks to my girl, to Red Roux, my Robin, because behind each man they say there is a woman. And I know one thing, is that without her, I will not be where I am, and I will not have kept what I believe is good, and maybe I will not be a good man. Having said that, you don't know me well, because I'm not a good man. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know one thing, is Red Roux is an angel to be with me, poor girl. So I love you, Red Roux. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Gosh, pressure's in front, pressure's behind. Definitely. Well, welcome to all of you. I think it's such a nice thing to have so many stars at the Waterside Inn, because normally there's only 3, which is not much. Some of you have been to the Waterside, some of you is the first visit, so I think I'm glad this occasion is done today, because at least you visit the Waterside Inn once. I have to say the decor, the setup is quite different, but in front of the house, they had fun preparing, and we're all going to enjoy tonight, definitely. And I think my dad said everything. I've only been here 18 years. 8 of those have been sort of without my dad. Cheers. And that's it for me. I'm going to rush back because I can smell it's burning already.
So it's a beautiful evening tonight, and chef, relax. We gave a night off to all the Michelin inspectors in the UK tonight. So enjoy it, and if you don't trust me, there's a man which is here who's going to tell you he's not going to retire tomorrow, he's going to retire after tomorrow. But Derek Bulmer is going to tell you all the story about this beautiful place, and he really, if he's here, trust me, all the inspectors actually get a night off tonight, which is great.